The final day of the untamed African mountain bike race, the Absa Cape Epic. The world's best mountain bikers, together with aspiring amateurs, will finish their 8-day journey of a lifetime, completing 630 kilometers and 16,650 meters of climbing through South Africa's Western Cape. Stage 7 took them from Stellenbosch to the renowned polo fields in Val de Vie estate. Over the 70 kilometers, the riders would have to tackle 1,800 meters of climbing, with the Land Rover technical terrain on the Jonkershoek trails and the climb up Fiona's Beast the toughest challenges, before they arrive on the Cape Epic's Champs-Élysées in Val de Vie. The world's best mountain biker Nino Schurter and his partner Lars Forster were in the yellow leaders' jerseys for the final stage. As they left Stellenbosch with an 8-minute lead ahead of their closest rivals Manuel Fumic and Henri Cavancini, it looked very unlikely that there would be any changes on the overall podium places. But there were many teams gunning for victory on this prestigious stage. In the women's race, the orange women's leaders' jerseys had been with Anneke Langville and her new partner Anna van der Breggen of Investec Songo Specialized all week, and they left Stellenbosch with a 30-minute lead in the GC. Langville will write Cape Epic history by claiming her 5th win in 5 starts. Approaching the Jonkershoek climb, Philip Bass and Matthijs Bierkes of Team Paiga Eurosteel made the pace at the front of the field, and the first gap started to form. At the top of the first climb, Bass, Bierkes and the cross spur team with Chink and Gutierrez were the first to come through, with the Spanish Buff Scott MTB team and yesterday's stage winners and their second 7C CBZ Villiers teams following. Paiga Eurosteel and Cross Spur continued to make the pace at the front as they entered the never-ending story, and the field got strung out even more by these exhilarating single tracks, with 7C CBZ Villiers, Canyon and Scott SRAM chasing hard. At this stage, Team Cannondale Factory Racing with Fumic and Avancini were already 1 minute and 30 seconds down. Flying through the Land Rover technical terrain, the two leading teams, Paiga Eurosteel and Cross Spur, showed their intention of wanting to win the final stage. They were chased hard by the Spanish Buff Scott team and the two 7C CBZ Villiers teams. A little bit further back, the standout rider this year's Absa Cape Epic, Nino Schurter, also enjoyed the superb trails by showcasing his trademark tail whips. But it was Paiga Eurosteel and the Cross Spur team who made the pace. On the climb up Fiona's Beast, both teams showed their strength and mountain biking pedigree and continued with their relentless pace on the tricky descent. At the second water point, Paiga Eurosteel and Cross Spur had extended their lead to 1 minute and 45 seconds. On the home stretch through Boschendal, with 3 single-track descents and 2 uphill slogs, the leaders stayed together. The finish line in Val de Vie was edging ever closer. As the two teams entered the finish chute on Val de Vie's polo field, Philip Bass and Andres Chink moved to the front. On the final few meters, their partners Bierkes and Gutierrez had a thrilling sprint, with Gutierrez winning in a photo finish by the narrowest of margins to celebrate the victory on Stage 7 of the 2019 Absa Cape Epic with his partner Chink. South Africa's Bierkes and Bass in 2nd place, and Sebastian Finney and Martin Blooms a surprise 3rd place on the final stage. After narrowly missing out on Stage 6, Trek Salis Marco with Damiano Ferrara and Samuele Porro finished 11th, but maintained their 3rd place in the overall ranking. Manuel Fumic and Henri Cavancini were 12th, but also kept their 2nd place on GC. Finishing the stage in 14th, the outstanding team of this year's Absa Cape Epic, Scott SRAM Mountain Bike Racing, with the reigning Olympic cross-country champion Nino Schurter and European champion Lars Forster, celebrated a deserved overall victory at the Val de Vie estate. They were more than 7.5 minutes ahead of Fumic and Avancini of Cannondale Factory Racing, and 16 minutes and 37 seconds ahead of Trek Salis and Marco's Ferrara and Porro. The women's race was dominated from day one by Investec Songo Specialized Anneke Langville and Anna van der Breggen. Despite leading by more than 30 minutes, they held nothing back on the final stage. In Jonkershoek, they made their move on Summit Finn's Candice Lille and Adelaide Morath and controlled the race from the front. Around 18 kilometers on the finish, Lille and Morath caught the leaders, and both teams charged towards the finish line. But on the final approach, Langville and van der Breggen made the decisive move and powered away to win their 7th stage of the 2019 Absa Cape Epic ahead of Lille and Morath. Celebrating her 5th Absa Cape Epic victory with her partner van der Breggen, Anneke Langville made history and cemented her status as the most successful female Cape Epic rider ever. A deserved triumph for the Danish Investec Songo Specialized team, who outclassed Lille and Morath of Summit Finn in 2nd place and Luti and Waschowska in 3rd.